Hey everybody, I'm at Oakland City Hall for a press conference on an announcement the mayor was going to make regarding the homeless. So it's going to start at 10:30. It's now 10:25, something like that. So right over here, there. There. So all the folks sitting, they're massing behind me and coming in, and they're going to be sitting in front of me here. So, hey, Fred, Jesus Christ, how you doing? This is Fred Blackman. Good to see you too, man. Yeah, it's rocking. All right. Cheers. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. This is,
This guy's a legend.
how you doing, pal? How you doing? Hey, I'm Zen Abraham. Hey, how do you do? Pleasure. How do you do? All right. You're the right man. He's a good man. He's the right man. You got it. Sorry. Go ahead. Oh, no problem. Zenning Abraham? Yeah. I don't know what to do with my hat, so I guess I'll keep it on. Oh, well.
I left mine in the office.
Oh, okay.
So when you sat back down,
Like poke through this hole here, like between the two of them, so like that. So. Oh. Oh, it's reserved for media.
yeah.
I should be sitting there.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Cool. All right.
I know. I was like, who are you?
Yeah. I thought it's funny you see reserved, you think it's for somebody else. I thought, it's
Yes,
for somebody else. So.
What are you posting to?
What
are you filming for?
Oh, my company, Zenny62 Media. So this goes to my YouTube channel, and it will go to 17 of my blogs. Yeah. So, yeah. This cat's right there. And my newest blog is Oakland News Now. So yeah. OaklandNewsNow.com. Yeah, oh yeah.
Right.
So you work for Paul Cobb then?
Yeah.
Hey, Paul, I met someone that works for you.
With you. I keep forgetting I just flip this around like that, but
Oh, right.
yeah. We will start in a few minutes, folks.
So you're making a live radio?
Live stream, yeah, I am. So here comes everybody in here. So there, I am. This is a crowded room. Hey, you got a seat for you, Dan. I might have to lean over a little bit one day. So. Let's see here. There.
I was expecting someone, but since they're not here, I guess there's not much to be done.
Great to see you. Check test 1, 2, October 15th, 2018. Was that good? Yeah.
You do it again, please.
Always you again. Check 10, 15, 2018. All right. Hey, how's it going? How are you? What's happening? Thank you. Hey, thanks for the note. Thank you. Oh, no problem. You don't have to worry about, oh, like I'm going to treat you like that? Come on. You know that. Huh? Oh. I've only been here 3 days. I got to leave tonight on a red eye. Yeah. So. No, I'm not. I've never wanted to cover the Raiders. I gave them the credential back, and I gave it back because I don't like the way they're in the 20th century doing media. I told Will Kiss I was going to do. I sent him an email. He didn't get it. He's yelling at me. I had to call NFL legal. Rachel said I'll take care of it. And I'm like, I don't deal with this stuff. Keep it, because I make more money without them. So that's it. Happier. I've covered the draft and the owners' meetings. So yeah.
All right, good morning.
Good morning.
We are here this morning to make a very exciting announcement. Keep Oakland Housed is a partnership that is going to help us fight displacement and prevent homelessness. No one deserves to spend a single night on the streets. And we here in Oakland want to keep Oaklanders here securely housed. A recent study showed that almost 1/3 of Bay Area residents are just one paycheck away from the risk of eviction. And that means a surprise medical bill, an unexpected car repair, anything can potentially put Bay Area residents at risk of losing their housing. We have scoured the research and we have determined that this triad of supports are the most effective thing that we can do, not only to keep Oaklanders housed, but to prevent homelessness here in the East Bay. I am so thrilled with the leadership of the San Francisco Foundation and our own home-based Kaiser Permanente, which has such a view of total health and recognizes that their obligation is not just to their members or to their donors, but to this greater Bay Area community. And so I am thrilled to have them walk through this incredible initiative that will be in place till 2022, is launching today with a new website called keepoaklandhome.org, or if anyone has the need for help, to just call 211. 211 is our full service helpline for social services, for access to emergency shelter, food, care, This is what we have to do at this moment when this Bay Area is becoming so expensive. We know that there are thousands of Oaklanders that are at risk of eviction every day. And we are hoping that this new resource, with its emergency rental assistance, with its free legal assistance, and its wraparound services to help get people stabilized with their income and keep them housed, is going to make the difference and bring the gift of security to people throughout Oakland, particularly our most vulnerable families. And so with that, it is my pleasure to introduce a fellow Titan, a fellow Oaklander, and the phenomenal leader of the San Francisco Foundation, Fred Blackwell.
Thank you for those kind and great words, Mayor Schaaf. We stand here at the San Francisco Foundation before you today, honestly very excited, but also sober. We stand before you sober because we are in the midst of a housing crisis, and I think some would say a housing emergency here in the Bay Area generally and in Oakland specifically. I grew up in Oakland, and I can safely say that I have not seen the level of housing crisis that we are experiencing right now. And so while we are extremely excited to be with you today, announcing what we're working on, it does not escape us the reality of the challenge that is before us. But I do want to talk about why we are excited. One, for us, it really represents the power of philanthropy to partner with the public sector, partner with the nonprofit sector to address one of the issues of our day and to address challenging issues in general. This is probably the third or so round of philanthropic support to Oakland from our friend, the anonymous donor. This was, you remember that there was a $30+ million announcement that was made a couple of years ago. There have been follow-ups to that, and so we're really excited to have a philanthropic partner at the San Francisco Foundation that continues this commitment to the work of equity in the city of Oakland, and so for that reason we're very excited. The other reason we're excited, though, is because this really, I think, focuses in on the right component of the issue. As Mayor Schaaf knows, we talked about it, and she mentioned it a little bit. It is infinitely less expensive, less complicated, less challenging from a policy point of view, and more humane from a human point of view to keep people housed rather than try to respond to their needs and their issues and their crises once they become homeless. So getting upstream, thinking about the things that we can do to keep people in their homes is something that we are excited to be a part of, excited to partner with the city on, excited to be able to work with a fabulous set of community partners to execute on as well. The last thing that I would say about our excitement is that we are really blessed to be able to work with a fabulous set of partners on this work. These are folks who have tentacles in the community, who have real constituency, who have been in the trenches and on the front lines, working on these issues for many, many years. And so we could not think of a better, more trusted, more effective, more productive group of people to be working with than the folks who have stepped up to be a part of this project. And so for that reason, we are very excited to be here. We're very excited to continue our work with the city of Oakland. We're very excited to be a part of the solution around a crisis and a problem that is really impacting all of us in, I think, ways that are both profound and ways that we never expected when we were in the kind of economic and housing situation that we were in, say, 5 years ago, only when folks were looking for opportunities to build more housing and looking for opportunities to deal with addressing issues of income and employment and all those kinds of things. Oakland. So very happy to be here. What I want to do now is start the line of folks who are going to talk to you in the weeds about what we're going to do. And I want to start with introducing Tyrion Steinbach, who is the Executive Director of the East Bay Community Law Center and a dear friend and someone who I'm very proud to be working with on this. Thank you.
The causes of Oakland's housing and homelessness crisis are complex, and so too are the solutions needed. But one thing is simple. We need to keep Oaklanders in their houses now. We need to stop the bleeding of our tenants and our community now. Rising costs of housing and the growing income gap are squeezing Oakland's working class and lower income residents, especially Oakland's residents of color. The enormous pressures of the rental market incentivize landlords to evict and raise rents on people who are living paycheck to paycheck. And too often, people are forced out of their homes without resources to defend their rights. Too often, Oaklanders who have hit on hard times have lost their homes because of one missed or late paycheck. And too often, we've seen our community members go from their houses to the streets. Keep Oakland Housed will help stem the flow by providing emergency cash assistance, legal representation, and supportive services. Most of the funding will go directly to Oaklanders in the form of flexible emergency cash assistance. Bay Area Community Services and Catholic Charities of the East Bay will work to get these funds to people quickly and strategically. They will also provide connections to the services and resources people need to stabilize their housing. The East Bay Community Law Center has significantly increased our housing legal team to provide far more legal representation to Oakland tenants facing eviction. Oakland has strong renter protection laws because Oakland housing advocates asked for it and the voters and the elected officials listened. But these laws are of no meaning if they're not enforced. And we have seen for decades that in eviction cases, the majority of tenants are unrepresented, while the same percentage of landlords have lawyers. And when tenants are unrepresented, they lose, not just their case, but their homes and their housing subsidies. And in this crisis, their ability to live in their city. We know and study support that leveling the playing field greatly increases the chances of tenants staying in their homes. We have to stop unlawful and unethical evictions now. With Keep Oakland Housed and also increased funds from the City of Oakland and County of Alameda, the East Bay Community Law Center, as well as sister organizations, Central Legal, Bay Area Legal Aid, and Eviction Defense Center have all increased our housing staff to serve lower income tenants. This, along with the emergency cash assistance and supportive services, is a three-pronged approach to provide emergency services in this crisis. We believe that it will help staunch the bleeding of Oakland tenants, and we know that there's so much more we need to do to save Oakland, to keep the heart of Oakland beating, to keep the culture and diversity that makes Oakland, Oakland. We need to build more affordable housing, truly affordable. We need to pass even stronger rental protections because housing should not be a privilege just for the privileged few. And right now we need to protect tenants who are at risk of homelessness. We, the Keep Oakland House partners, are grateful to Kaiser and San Francisco Foundation for supporting this work and supporting this city. This is only one part of it addressing the crisis, but it's an important one. This is not charity. This is not a handout. This is an investment in Oakland and a declaration that all Oakland residents are valued and worthy of advocacy, protection, and support. I'm excited for this partnership. We have a lot of work to do. Next, you'll hear from Christopher Martinez, Chief Program Officer for Catholic Charities of the East Bay. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyrion. Good morning, everyone. My name is Christopher Martinez, and I'm the Chief Program Officer for Catholic Charities of the East Bay. Catholic Charities has a long and rich history in Oakland, and we've been providing case management and housing support services for a long time. We are very proud to be a part of the Keep Oakland House initiative. As Tyrion was saying, the need is great, it's growing, but this is a step in the right direction. We know our housing crisis has reached epic proportions in the Bay Area, affecting so many in our communities. Did you know that senior citizens are the fastest growing population of new homeless? That's a startling fact. Oakland residents are losing their homes, losing their housing, and becoming homeless at a rate higher than the city and its partners are able to shelter and rehouse them. Those who lose their housing cannot find affordable rentals and are pushed into cars or tents or out of Oakland altogether. We can't allow this to happen to our neighbors. These are our neighbors. Displacement affects a community, it affects local churches, local businesses, our schools, everyone. Neighbors such as one of our clients, Stacy, who was on the verge of homelessness because her parents' house had a reverse mortgage on it, and they lost their home. We cannot allow this to happen to the most diverse of cities in our country. We must find ways to help our community members feel safe and secure in their homes. We will address gentrification and racial disparities of displacement through targeted services to low-income communities. Everyone has a fundamental right to housing, which ensures access to safe, secure, habitable, and affordable home with freedom from forced eviction. Our communities deserve housing security, living in dignity. And while the need for building new and affordable housing is one solution, it alone cannot address this issue. We need to also protect households from being displaced, as Terry was saying. That is why Keep Oakland House is such an important part in focusing on preventing people from becoming homeless in the first place. In the last 12 months, we at Catholic Charities have received thousands of requests for housing assistance, many requests for eviction prevention. The need is growing. And so through this initiative, Keep Oakland House, a much needed and innovative approach to bringing partners together for the benefit of Oaklanders and the people who proudly call Oakland home. We're very proud to be a part of this. So thank you for being here today to help launch this project. I'm very happy to introduce our other partner, Jamie Almanza, Executive Director of Bay Area Community Services.
I definitely need this piece of paper. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jamie Almanza. I'm the Executive Director of Bay Area Community Services, BACS for short. My job today is to talk about how people in Oakland get our help. A little bit about BACS. BACS, with its city and current nonprofit partners, operates the Housing Crisis Response System for the city of Oakland, which helps find, assess, and help every homeless person and family in Oakland get the help they need. BACS operates the Housing Fast Support Network, the largest housing program in Oakland, and through the city of Oakland's tremendous efforts, we are opening a second location very soon. Together, we will literally move 1,000 homeless people off the streets in Oakland into stable housing. We are working on this crisis on the front lines, under the freeways, in the parks, all across Oakland. Still, every month, BACS gets thousands of calls from people who are about to lose their housing and need our help. Keep Oakland Housed means that we can answer these calls and for the first time say yes and help people the same day they need the help. The Oakland housing ecosystem has a missing piece, and you've heard it already: stopping homelessness before it starts. So many people lose their housing without community support, without ever getting their day in court. Every day, and many times at night, your neighbors are left embarrassed, have to move out of their homes with literally no place to go because they did not have money to keep current on the ever-escalating rental costs. They didn't have a caring and assertive professional there to help them get their lives organized, help them budget, help them find a job, source healthy food, get free legal support. Keep Oakland Housed is the solution. In the first time in our history as Oaklanders, we are creating a housing emergency system with prevention that can respond the same day. We cannot end the housing crisis just by rehousing people who have already fallen into homelessness. We need to prevent homelessness and keep Oakland residents housed. So how do we do it? To access this program, we are keeping eligibility extremely simple. Anyone who is low income, 18 years or older, and is currently housed in Oakland, but is at risk of losing their housing, can get our help. Our city cannot thrive and fight the equity issues you've heard about this morning facing us if we don't keep our neighbors in their homes. We're making it extremely easy on how people should get help. As you heard the mayor say, call 211. Show up at any of our 3 agencies, BACS, who's right around the corner here, Catholic Charities, East Bay Community Law Center. You can also walk into the BACS Housing Resource Center at 559 16th Street, and we will mobilize support for you. And I want to say thank you to all of our partners, the great city of Oakland, the San Francisco Foundation and its donors, Kaiser Permanente, Keep Oakland House Partners, Catholic Charities and East Bay Community Law Center, and most of all, to our community, who today with Keep Oakland Housed will lend a hand to help those that are on the brink of homelessness. Please share this with your neighbors. They're the ones that need our help. And I would love to introduce Jeff Collins, Senior Vice President and Area Manager of Kaiser Permanente of the East Bay, who will share a little bit more with you. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. At Kaiser Permanente, as Mayor Schaaf said, our mission is not only to improve the health of our members, but to improve the health of our entire community. Stable housing, as we know, is a key determinant of health. And with the housing shortage we talked about in the Bay Area and Oakland, we are pleased to find this opportunity to help stabilize and secure housing for community members in need. That is why we are supporting Keep Oakland Housed. As an organization that's been in Oakland for nearly 75 years now, we recognize that housing plays a critical role in the health of this community. Kaiser Permanente has made stable housing a major focus in our community here locally as well as nationally. As an integrated healthcare system, we know prevention works. This is true for community health as well, and that's why we are supporting the efforts to prevent community members from losing their homes. I want to acknowledge our county partners here. The county is on the front lines of public health in addressing homelessness, and we are very pleased that we can help reduce that burden by supporting these strategies to prevent homelessness. So thank you for joining us in this important announcement. Thank you to the San Francisco Foundation, Bay Area Community Services, Catholic Charities of East Bay, the East Bay Community Law Center, and the City of Oakland and Mayor Schaaf for partnering with us on this important initiative. So with that, I'm going to invite Fred Blackwell back up, as well as all of the members. We'll take some questions.
Thank you. So we'll open it up at this point for questions. Thank you.
Hi, the Oakland Post. How do you plan to reach the people who are going to need these services the most? Do you have outreach plans?
Sure. We have outreach workers out in the streets all the time, but also we're really encouraging people to understand 211. It is a simple number to memorize. It is available for a whole variety of support services, but also through the Oakland Housing Assistance Center. Through each one of these agencies, people can be directed to this resource. And also today we launched keepoaklandhoused.org. So a simple internet search will reveal this great resource. Can I just indulge me? I do want to recognize, we have Councilmember Dan Kolb here from the Oakland City Council, Councilmember Abdul. Both of these council members have been tireless advocates around this issue of homelessness. We are so excited. You have seen us break ground on permanent supportive housing, which is the permanent solution. You have seen us initiate the purchase of a new building that will double our capacity around our Henry Robinson rapid rehousing response. You have seen us do our emergency intervention through our Tough Shed program. And today, we are finally tying a knot on the bottom of the string. Otherwise, all of these are just beads on a string that will fall off the bottom. This is the prevention. This is what is going to hopefully make things like tough sheds obsolete in a few years, because we are going to stop people from becoming homeless in the first place. So with that, more questions.
Yeah, Zinni Abrams, Zinni 62 Media. Hey, tell me, how did this come about? I mean, who lit the, yeah.
Yeah. I wanna recognize Joanne Karchma from my office, and also Caleb Smith. Where is Caleb? Caleb is a graduate of Oakland Tech. He's interned in my office every summer since he was in high school. He just finished his Master's in Public Policy from Stanford. And last summer, not this last summer, but literally the summer before, this has been more than a year in the making. Joanne and Caleb worked together to research what is the most proven, successful method for preventing homelessness. And there was a very compelling study of work done in Chicago around this model. And so we brought this research to Fred and said, help us. We never have enough money in the city budget to do all the things that we need to do. We have got to reach out to the business community, and I recognize Barb Leslie here from the Chamber of Commerce, to our philanthropic partners, to our major employer and health provider, Kaiser Permanente, to take care of our whole community. We have got to do this outside and on top of our city resources. So I do want to recognize the power of great interns.
So, Jimmy, all that I would add is two things. One is, since we're acknowledging folks, I want to acknowledge Jackie Downing, who is on our staff. What Jackie does that is not necessarily always apparent is kind of two things. One is, she stays attuned to the kinds of issues and opportunities that are arising at the community level, but she stays connected to just a pool of donors at the San Francisco Foundation and really understands and listens to their needs and issues and aspirations as well. So when we had the anonymous donor ask what they could do to help Oakland at this moment, Jackie quickly kind of talked to folks who were understanding what was going on around homelessness and was able to kind of bring together and start designing this. The second thing I would mention is I hope it was clear when you heard from everybody who was a part of this on the nonprofit side, that these are folks who have been engaged in and working on these issues for years. This is not something that they decided to do when they heard there was some money available. These are folks who have been working on these issues, working with these constituencies, and being there for folks in an under-resourced kind of way for many years. And so it was clear to us very early on who the right folks were to pull into the room to make this thing go from soup to nuts.
And sir, speaking of resources, I don't think we again reiterated how much money we're talking about.
Yes. So we're talking about $9 million.
$9 million.
And that will be spent over the course of 3 to 4 years. And to those of you who are listening and who are philanthropic in nature, we can do more. I mentioned Jackie, give her a call, 415-733-85. The San Francisco Foundation, and we'll be happy to bring you into the fold.
You want to repeat that?
Also, if you go to keepoaklandhouse.org, there's a giant donate button. Please push it.
Can one of you give an example of an Oaklander you had tried to help in the past but couldn't because you didn't have these resources available, and how will you be able to help them now?
Sure. I have 3 of them right here. All of us nonprofits could not wait till this morning to start spending this money. We hope that's okay. One of those families is a household of 2, an 82-year-old mother and a 45-year-old intellectually impaired son living together. The son was on a final written discipline from work due to coming to work with no uniform. The family's washing machine had broken 2 months prior to that. And so when you think of the wraparound services that everyone has been referencing, it's not just the emergency cash assistance, but in this case, the son didn't have the capacity to go to a laundry and get his uniform washed. And so what Keep Oakland House did, we bought a new washing machine for this family. In turn, the young man was able to sustain his job. We paid $1,200 in total, and that money is what kept that family in their home. So just a little example there.
So when you talk about cash assistance, it's not just a check, it depends on what the situation warrants, and there's people who will be determining what to.
That's
pay.
right. So all of us as the partnership, we do an assessment. The same minute we get the family in front of us, we assess for everything. And based on that assessment, it will most often time be emergency cash assistance. It will be legal support if a family has received a legal notice. It will most often be wraparound services because, as we know, a lot of these families need more than just the emergency cash assistance. So that really is the beauty of the partnership and the blend of all of our expertise together.
Another example? Yeah.
I just wanted to provide another example because we do have strong renter protections here, and we have advocates who have struggled for too long without resources or limited resources to provide that. But this is an example. We have a tenant recently who we defended, East Bay Community Law Center were able to defend their eviction and keep them in their homes. But that tenant would have won and lost because at the end of winning, guess what they get to do? Pay the back rent. And they had not had the back rent to pay because of the emergency in their family. So that is also the kind of ways that this partnership, all three prongs work together. Our legal defense is more effective with emergency cash assistance and supportive services in place as well.
Yes, sir. I was just curious, Mayor, we did a lot of stories on the tough sheds. Curious about how the progress with that is going, and if there's any help in getting people homes or permanent residences from that program?
Sure. The Tough Shed Cabin Communities is an innovative emergency intervention that we have piloted here in Oakland. But from those two pilots, the first that has been in existence for a little more than 10 months, the other more recent at Northgate, we have seen 65% of the individuals exiting those Tough Shed Cabin Communities, exiting to transitional or permanent housing. That is very good results. So for that reason, we are planning to continue to add and scale this emergency intervention. We're going to be able to do that thanks to new legislation that was just signed by the governor a couple weeks ago that now allows us to enter into a $1 a month lease with Caltrans for appropriate Caltrans property that may be good for these Tough Shed Cabin communities. And again, just to remind you that these communities come with 2 full-time navigators, traditionally actually from BACS. Again, they are the experts in this type of helping people become self-sufficient, as well as flexible, rapid rehousing funding. We also are soon going to be announcing the opening of our year-round shelter. It used to be just a winter shelter, but we are going to be opening it on a year-round basis on October 22nd at St. Vincent de Paul's. And we hope to also be inviting you to the opening of our second location of our successful Henry Robinson Rapid Rehousing Center. We hope to have that up and going by the end of the year. Again, we are doing all these things. This is what it takes to truly address the issue of displacement and homelessness in Oakland. Everything from emergency intervention, rapid rehousing, more permanent affordable housing, as well as preventing displacement and homelessness in the first place.
Kind of a big picture question also, maybe you could maybe address this as well as the mayor and Fred as well. We did a story a couple weeks ago about the Tough Sheds, the second camp. I think I saw a stat that homelessness in Oakland has increased something like 26% in the last 3 years. Anecdotally, we've heard from folks in some of the camps camps that they're actually coming from San Francisco because they aren't getting, quote, hassled here like they were there. Can you guys address who the population is, and is Oakland in a position where you're getting people coming from other areas?
So our last thorough homelessness count is almost 2 years old now. It will be 2 years old in January. But at that time, 82% of the unsheltered residents that were counted that night, 82% had been last housed in Alameda County. And of them, more than 60% had been housed in Alameda County for more than 10 years. Now, we hear lots of rumors about cities telling their unsheltered residents to move to different cities. That is why it is so important we address this issue on a regional basis. And I hope that all of you in the media start following the work of CASA, the Committee to House the Bay Area. This is an ambitious, comprehensive effort to truly approach the housing crisis and homelessness on a Bay Area-wide basis. And I'm very, not only proud to myself be on the steering committee, but I am standing in front of one of the 3 co-chairs of the entire CASA effort.
Do you know, though, are some of these folks coming from San Francisco? Maybe you guys, your outreach workers, are people coming to Oakland because maybe it's kinder and more gentler? I can't say that.
We are more gentle.
More gentle.
You know, there is national data that backs up what Mayor Schaaf just displayed, and it ends up being a dangerous kind of rumor because what it does is creates fear for municipalities to invest more into homeless and housing services. In our experience on the grounds, doing the street outreach, Oakland's homeless individuals are generationally from Oakland.
I think I saw a question in the back. No, okay, we'll go with one more then.
This is about the tough sheds. I just had heard this statistic before that 65% of people exiting them were going to transitional or permanent housing. I was wondering how much of that 65% is permanent housing and what exactly is meant by transitional housing in that.
I apologize, I don't have that breakdown, but transitional housing could include the Henry Robinson Rapid Rehousing Center. I know specifically some of our, like Mr. Rufus, has moved from one of the tough shed cabin communities to the Henry Robinson.
Yes, sir.
My name is Stephen Caprio with the Michael Johnson Liberties Institute. We're the co-founder of the Bay Area Landless People's Alliance. And we're seeing from the unhoused people that we're allied with and the leadership in the encampments, a real disconnect between what's being stated at city council meetings, what's coming out of the mayor's office, and the lived experience of the people on the ground. What we've been seeing are rolling sweeps where people's belongings are thrown into the trash, and then people are told that they have to go to the tough sheds, and then they go to the tough sheds, and then they're turned away. And the tough shed nonprofit that's running it at city council said it's a voluntary program, but the people who are in the encampments are being told that they're being forced to go into it. If the tough sheds were of the kind of quality that is being advertised, then you would think that people who are unhoused would really just be clamoring to get in there. We wouldn't need to do the sweeps to get people to go in. So what we're asking for is the city to end the sweeps. They do violate Martin v. Boise, which is recent case law, which violates the 8th Amendment. And that is part of our declaration for the Campaign for the Human Rights of Landless People. And I would like to see that the mayor makes that commitment today to end the sweeps. Will you make that commitment?
And I recognize that this is a humanitarian crisis, and I am sorry that there is a difference in opinion about both the methodology that Oakland is using and our policies, and particularly the legality of them. We feel very confident that what we are doing is not just humane, but it is fully within the confines of the law.
So we'll take one more question and then we will wrap up. I would say just a thing in response here to, you know, the line of questioning that we're getting, I think reiterates the need for us to focus in on the prevention issues that we are talking about here. And so I think that one of the things that we should really think about is kind of what the whole suite of activities are and strategies are to address this issue. One last question and then we will wrap up.
regarding the tough sheds, men and women are put together and women are being assaulted. That is not okay. These tough sheds are made for storing tools, are full of arsenic and formaldehyde. And your stories from social services are incorrect. The people are not being housed, they're being given tickets out of town. You don't come to city council meetings, Libby. Unhoused women have come and told people what's really happening there, and no one's listening. This dog and pony show, good. If you prevent one person from being homeless, great. But the people that are unhoused now, you're abusing their rights every day. People are dying on the streets, you're not keeping statistics, you're not doing anything about it.
So, I think we'll wrap up at this moment, and I think that everybody here will be able to respond to questions, but I just want to reiterate our excitement about the work that we are engaged in here, and the opportunity that we had to kind of cut off the valve of homelessness and to figure out ways as a community that we can do more to prevent what's happening and what we're seeing on the streets. Thank you so much.
Well, that's it, folks. Be back for more. Subscribe to Zenny62. All right.